Can't I normally object? Can't I normally object? When the oven beeps, the food is ready. When the oven beeps, the food is ready. You should eat at night. You should eat at night. Can I talk about nighttime? Can I talk about nighttime? The children had finished their homework before going out to play. The children had finished their homework before going out to play. He may need to reschedule the meeting. He may need to reschedule the meeting. We're going on a camping trip next weekend. We're going on a camping trip next weekend. Will he think? Will he think? Then they will play 4 in the morning. Then they will play 4 in the morning. They may arrive late to the concert. They may arrive late to the concert. Do you believe I won? Do you believe I won? He is learning to speak Spanish fluently. He is learning to speak Spanish fluently. Adoption. Adoption. I know I can always count on him. I know I can always count on him. I don't have friends with this behavior. I don't have friends with this behavior. She was taking a shower after training in the gym. She was taking a shower after training in the gym. If I had studied harder, I could have passed the exam. If I had studied harder, I could have passed the exam. The train has just arrived. The train has just arrived. I have plans and goals. I have plans and goals. We heard a lot about you. We heard a lot about you. Rarely recognizable? Rarely recognizable? If you study hard, you will pass the exam. If you study hard, you will pass the exam. We couldn't lobby every year. We couldn't lobby every year. Will I not be a businessman next year? Will I not be a businessman next year? I've never been to some of these places before. I've never been to some of these places before. They are assumed every month. They are assumed every month. Stepped. Stepped. Do you want to come to the party? Do you want to come to the party? Wasn't he a watchman every year? Wasn't he a watchman every year? Can I use my mobile wallet for payment? Can I use my mobile wallet for payment? The flowers in the garden are in full bloom. The flowers in the garden are in full bloom. Usually not clear? Usually not clear? Are there grandchildren sailors? Are there grandchildren sailors? He started a blog to share his travel experiences. He started a blog to share his travel experiences. Am I not sounding normal? Am I not sounding normal? I was in secretarial faculty. I was in secretarial faculty. Is there a photography section in the store? Is there a photography section in the store? Can't take noon? Can't take noon? Especially beef. Especially beef. He wrote an opinion piece on the impact of social media on relationships. He wrote an opinion piece on the impact of social media on relationships. Do you have dairy-free alternatives? Do you have dairy-free alternatives? Can it start? Can it start? Was my father an environmentalist? Was my father an environmentalist? I will build a bridge. I will build a bridge. The movie was watched by millions of people. The movie was watched by millions of people. He's going to the dentist next Tuesday. He's going to the dentist next Tuesday. She will learn to swim this summer. She will learn to swim this summer. Later. Later. You will have a meeting with your boss in the morning. You will have a meeting with your boss in the morning. They said, we're going to have a party at our house this weekend. They said, we're going to have a party at our house this weekend. His grandson was a diver. His grandson was a diver. He's a Tyler soon. He's a Tyler soon. The long movie is more boring than the short one. The long movie is more boring than the short one. Despite the difficulties, they were determined to succeed. Despite the difficulties, they were determined to succeed. He later apologized for his behavior. He later apologized for his behavior. Are their spouses minors? Are their spouses minors? 4. I don't notice anything special about the way things are going right now. 4. I don't notice anything special about the way things are going right now. How do you say this? How do you say this? They didn't do enough research before starting the project. They didn't do enough research before starting the project. There is something I have to tell you. I love you. There is something I have to tell you. I love you. The baby is laughing. The baby is laughing. Actually. Would reach out. Would reach out. Were your parents florists? Were your parents florists? Could this be a potential problem in the future? Could this be a potential problem in the future? I am looking for this car. I am looking for this car. Will you pick me up from the airport? Will you pick me up from the airport? I've finished my homework. I've finished my homework. I always collect Christmas cards from my friends and family. I always collect Christmas cards from my friends and family. I can be an illustrator. I can be an illustrator. The new movie is more exciting than the previous one. The new movie is more exciting than the previous one. Black shoes are more stylish than brown ones. Black shoes are more stylish than brown ones. He practices his piano skills every day. He practices his piano skills every day. And the house seems full of us all. And the house seems full of us all. He enjoys hiking in the mountains. He enjoys hiking in the mountains. What kind of change was this? What kind of change was this? Can't you see after 3 seconds? Can't you see after 3 seconds? These three. I have a question about your talk bet. I have a question about your talk bet. My grandfather was a founder. My grandfather was a founder. His relatives were dermatologists. His relatives were dermatologists. My stepfather is an aviator. My stepfather is an aviator. Should be saved for later. Should be saved for later. The children build a sand castle. The children build a sand castle. We accept immediately. We accept immediately. Values friendship and loyalty. Values friendship and loyalty. Went to school together. Went to school together. We can't go for a walk until the weather clears. We can't go for a walk until the weather clears. Can you give some information about the event? Can you give some information about the event? They can cost 1 minute later. They can cost 1 minute later. If I had more energy, I would go for a run. If I had more energy, I would go for a run. I go to the museum with school trips. I go to the museum with school trips. We're throwing a party. We're throwing a party. They were not imposed on a weekly basis. They were not imposed on a weekly basis. He works hard to pass his exams. He works hard to pass his exams. Last night's concert was better than I expected. Last night's concert was better than I expected. Can you lend me your pen? Can you lend me your pen? Can I order a special cake? Can I order a special cake? Can learn. Can learn. These are popular bestsellers. These are popular bestsellers. Sometimes it wouldn't fix it. Sometimes it wouldn't fix it. What should I do? What should I do? Coral reefs. Coral reefs. She likes shopping. She likes shopping. You will have dinner. You will have dinner. Your father was a bricklayer. Your father was a bricklayer. I want to close my account. I want to close my account. Personal. Personal. They will go hiking in the mountains. They will go hiking in the mountains. Your uncle was a nutritionist. Your uncle was a nutritionist. Shouldn't care now. Shouldn't care now. Immature. Immature. I can't find my keys. I can't find my keys. She will have completed her internship next summer. She will have completed her internship next summer. These are stunning sunsets. These are stunning sunsets. Not a judge now. Not a judge now. Are you ready to start the game? Are you ready to start the game? My family cooked a delicious meal. My family cooked a delicious meal. My wife went to her mother for 2 days. My wife went to her mother for 2 days. When I have money, I will buy a car. When I have money, I will buy a car. We lived in that house for 5 years. We lived in that house for 5 years. I feel a little sick. I feel a little sick. Our colleague was a botanist. Our colleague was a botanist. I go to the gym to exercise and get in shape. I go to the gym to exercise and get in shape. We were working on our project when the computer crashed. We were working on our project when the computer crashed. Is our grandfather an assistant? Is our grandfather an assistant? The train leaves at 9 a.m. The train leaves at 9 a.m. I do not exclude. I do not exclude. You can never learn. You can never learn. Understand what I mean. Understand what I mean. Should not appear. Should not appear. It's getting hot outside. It's getting hot outside. Was your stepdaughter a midwife? Was your stepdaughter a midwife? There is no food in the refrigerator. There is no food in the refrigerator. Can you give me some water, please? Can you give me some water, please? Will they shake? Will they shake? I missed the last bus and had to call a friend. I missed the last bus and had to call a friend. 2 months later deposited. 2 months later deposited. How's the coffee here? How's the coffee here? We had been planning the surprise party for weeks before she found out. We had been planning the surprise party for weeks before she found out. I have an appointment at 2 in the afternoon. I have an appointment at 2 in the afternoon. You applied earlier at 2 a.m. You applied earlier at 2 a.m. Was your grandfather a lantern? Was your grandfather a lantern? Have. You cannot be doing this. You cannot be doing this. Equal. Will it subside at night? Will it subside at night? I am creative. I am creative. If it snows tomorrow, we can go skiing. If it snows tomorrow, we can go skiing. Should I always choose? Should I always choose? I was young once. I was young once. Were you a blogger a century ago? Were you a blogger a century ago? Turn right at the next corner. Turn right at the next corner. Should not be covered at dusk. Should not be covered at dusk. By the time they're done, we'll already be out of the office. By the time they're done, we'll already be out of the office. He read a book. He read a book. Low fat. Low fat. Maybe one day job. Maybe one day job. The baby is sleeping soundly. The baby is sleeping soundly. I'm meeting my friends for lunch. I'm meeting my friends for lunch. School name. School name. They start their vacation next Friday. They start their vacation next Friday. Where can I find kitchen utensils? Where can I find kitchen utensils? We're going to a concert. We're going to a concert. You can be the weekly philosopher. You can be the weekly philosopher. Although the company struggled, they managed to turn things around. Although the company struggled, they managed to turn things around. When the sun goes down, the sky turns orange. When the sun goes down, the sky turns orange. Make a to-do list. Make a to-do list. Will you come to the party tonight? Will you come to the party tonight? He works as a doctor. He works as a doctor. The room is too dark to see anything. The room is too dark to see anything. The announcement was made over the loudspeaker. The announcement was made over the loudspeaker. Is it burnt? Is it burnt? You cannot teach. You cannot teach. The decade of the 2000s was marked by major changes in technology. The decade of the 2000s was marked by major changes in technology. His stepdaughters were housewives. His stepdaughters were housewives. He can do woodworking every day. He can do woodworking every day. I would love to see your photos again. I would love to see your photos again. Your mother was a courier. Your mother was a courier. I have a lot of clothes to wash. I have a lot of clothes to wash. The campaign highlighted in red was John's test campaigns. The campaign highlighted in red was John's test campaigns. Can't it happen every year? Can't it happen every year? I would apologize if it were me. I would apologize if it were me. I was working from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. I was working from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. International organizations play an important role in promoting economic development. International organizations play an important role in promoting economic development. Mary will be aware of this situation. Mary will be aware of this situation. If you save money, you can buy something nice later. If you save money, you can buy something nice later. I eat an apple after my father sleeps. I eat an apple after my father sleeps. He has already read that book. He has already read that book. Do you want to ask a question before we start? Do you want to ask a question before we start? Shouldn't sing normally. Shouldn't sing normally. Our atmosphere is relaxed and welcoming. Our atmosphere is relaxed and welcoming. If I had a camera, I would take pictures of the sunset. If I had a camera, I would take pictures of the sunset. Is his wife a cop? Is his wife a cop? Where do they live? Where do they live? Mom, I messed up. Mom, I messed up. Violence. Violence. How much does a hotel room cost? How much does a hotel room cost? Sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. My uncle is a doctor. My uncle is a doctor. The cat sits on the windowsill and watches the birds. The cat sits on the windowsill and watches the birds. A politician should always be able to account for the money he receives. A politician should always be able to account for the money he receives. She is a teacher and enjoys working with children. She is a teacher and enjoys working with children. Were you angry? Were you angry? Could you please keep the area around the plaster clean and dry? Could you please keep the area around the plaster clean and dry? Won't we listen? Won't we listen? The weatherman says it will rain all day tomorrow. The weatherman says it will rain all day tomorrow. Wasn't it hidden then? Wasn't it hidden then? I don't pay after 4 evenings. I don't pay after 4 evenings. Do we need some people? Do we need some people? He is writing a letter to his best friend. He is writing a letter to his best friend. My brother is a lifeguard. My brother is a lifeguard. Will they give orders a day later? Will they give orders a day later? You cannot create. You cannot create. Are you at home today? Are you at home today? Can you explain this concept to me again? Can you explain this concept to me again? Can we normally be a mechanic? Can we normally be a mechanic? How can we position it in production? What are our procedures? How can we position it in production? What are our procedures? We wouldn't have missed the concert if you had booked the tickets. We wouldn't have missed the concert if you had booked the tickets. Isn't he always a landscaper? Isn't he always a landscaper? I'm going to the synagogue. I'm going to the synagogue. The guest speaker at the event gave an inspiring talk about leadership. The guest speaker at the event gave an inspiring talk about leadership. He wished he had bought that car while it was still available. He wished he had bought that car while it was still available. These people are in the park. These people are in the park. If you can't, can you please reschedule? If you can't, can you please reschedule? The book is in front of my eyes. The book is in front of my eyes. We played tennis. We played tennis. What do you think about this problem? What do you think about this problem? Shouldn't they kiss? Shouldn't they kiss? I work as a teacher. I work as a teacher. When they arrive at the airport, the plane will have taken off. When they arrive at the airport, the plane will have taken off. We're going for a walk. We're going for a walk. By the time you get here, I will have finished my exam. By the time you get here, I will have finished my exam. Let me. The concert will start tonight at 20:00. The concert will start tonight at 20:00. We may not be dermatologists at dawn. We may not be dermatologists at dawn. What time does the movie start? What time does the movie start? His grandfather was a bounty hunter. His grandfather was a bounty hunter. I have to sell. I have to sell. Retired. Retired. Could you please remind me to buy bread tomorrow? Could you please remind me to buy bread tomorrow? How can I go there? How can I go there? We knew from the beginning that this would be a difficult task. We knew from the beginning that this would be a difficult task. There is a trash can under the table. There is a trash can under the table. She likes to do yoga in the morning. She likes to do yoga in the morning. Repeatedly. Repeatedly. Can I confirm often? Can I confirm often? They will plant flowers in the garden. They will plant flowers in the garden. We can make this home. We can make this home. I think it's time for me to say goodbye. I think it's time for me to say goodbye. Snack. Snack. We need to create an action plan. We need to create an action plan. I think it's time for me to say goodbye. I think it's time for me to say goodbye. I'm going to the amusement park by bus. I'm going to the amusement park by bus. Do you want to travel? Do you want to travel? He couldn't have surgery a year ago. He couldn't have surgery a year ago. They couldn't decide where to go for vacation. They couldn't decide where to go for vacation. Ask next year. Ask next year. Never excluded. Never excluded. He told me, I don't like spicy food. He told me, I don't like spicy food. We cannot travel at dawn. We cannot travel at dawn. Do you have organic products on hand? Do you have organic products on hand? Can you garden at noon? Can you garden at noon? I usually take the bus for city transportation. I usually take the bus for city transportation. She can dance every day. She can dance every day. Cannot recognize. Cannot recognize. I go to the gym twice a week. I go to the gym twice a week. Did he say anything to you? Did he say anything to you? She cooked for her friends to celebrate her birthday. She cooked for her friends to celebrate her birthday. He likes to read books but prefers to watch movies. He likes to read books but prefers to watch movies. You cannot get points. You cannot get points. I want to improve my English speaking skills. I want to improve my English speaking skills. Could it be open then? Could it be open then? Should he try? Should he try? They went to rest. They went to rest. What is your dream? What is your dream? If I see him, I'll say hello. If I see him, I'll say hello. Do you have to apply? Do you have to apply? To continue. To continue. When will you arrive home? When will you arrive home? They fished in the lake all day. They fished in the lake all day. Were our children self-employed? Were our children self-employed? Did not reflect. Did not reflect. Do you know the girl who won the singing contest? Do you know the girl who won the singing contest? Do you have any fresh vegetables? Do you have any fresh vegetables? He tried to play the violin every day and as a result became a talented violinist. He tried to play the violin every day and as a result became a talented violinist. Was his friend a paramedic? Was his friend a paramedic? They will travel to Europe next month. They will travel to Europe next month. Have you seen the last episode of your favorite series? Have you seen the last episode of your favorite series? He goes to the beach on vacation. He goes to the beach on vacation. He is jogging in the park. He is jogging in the park. Do you want me to check your answer? Do you want me to check your answer? The movie was funnier than I thought. The movie was funnier than I thought. He has $24. He has $24. I wouldn't be lost. I wouldn't be lost. It looks good. It looks good. Also, don't forget to bring snacks for the trip. Also, don't forget to bring snacks for the trip. Wasn't he the manager then? Wasn't he the manager then? We were waiting in the ticket queue when they announced an extra show. We were waiting in the ticket queue when they announced an extra show. Can you be an overseer every day? Can you be an overseer every day? We have to wait until the traffic clears up. We have to wait until the traffic clears up. I will have finished my homework before dinner. I will have finished my homework before dinner. Was your brother a neurologist? Was your brother a neurologist? We will be able to present our findings very soon. We will be able to present our findings very soon. Should journeyman be monthly? Should journeyman be monthly? He enjoys playing the piano in his spare time. He enjoys playing the piano in his spare time. Why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it? What a coincidence. What a coincidence. What would you like to do? What would you like to do? I'm starting my new job next week. I'm starting my new job next week. I'm moving to a new house in 5 years. I'm moving to a new house in 5 years. The baby cried all night. The baby cried all night. If we save money, we can go on vacation. If we save money, we can go on vacation. I'm waiting weekly. I'm waiting weekly. What are you selling today? What are you selling today? Oh, I know what girls like. Oh, I know what girls like. I have a new job, he said. I have a new job, he said. Weren't we Model 10? Weren't we Model 10? You were rude. You were rude. We hope to find a solution to the problem as soon as possible. We hope to find a solution to the problem as soon as possible. The piano is the hardest instrument to learn. The piano is the hardest instrument to learn. I will blow. I will blow. You must turn off your mobile phone during the movie. You must turn off your mobile phone during the movie. You will be connected at dusk. You will be connected at dusk. Will you pick me up from the airport? Will you pick me up from the airport? Let's ask. Let's ask. Was his grandfather the vice president? Was his grandfather the vice president? We were going to be linguists in a month. We were going to be linguists in a month. Was my stepsister a tailor? Was my stepsister a tailor? We will start the meeting as soon as everyone arrives. We will start the meeting as soon as everyone arrives. I have been working with him for the last 2 months. I have been working with him for the last 2 months. Is our son the governor? Is our son the governor? Can it add normally? Can it add normally? How many students are in the school? How many students are in the school? They had eaten before going to the movies. They had eaten before going to the movies. You can file a lawsuit 4 months in advance. You can file a lawsuit 4 months in advance. He quietly rides a bunny. He quietly rides a bunny. He enjoys reading books in his spare time. He enjoys reading books in his spare time. You gotta tell me what's wrong. You gotta tell me what's wrong. We may not leave 10 years. We may not leave 10 years. We have to finish our project by Friday. We have to finish our project by Friday. Doesn't he lie after 4 months? Doesn't he lie after 4 months? Subtract. Subtract. Brother-in-law jury. Brother-in-law jury. Thanks in advance. Thanks in advance. Is your brother-in-law a painter? Is your brother-in-law a painter? He has to finish his project before the deadline. He has to finish his project before the deadline. Do they stylist every week? Do they stylist every week? They shouldn't be interested in the afternoon. They shouldn't be interested in the afternoon. Relatives were deans. Relatives were deans. We don't have a finished ticket. We don't have a finished ticket. Can we do a manicure at 2 a.m. later? Can we do a manicure at 2 a.m. later? Should I not install? Should I not install? Can you show me where the health center is? Can you show me where the health center is? That rain is quiet. That rain is quiet. Don't you need to measure? Don't you need to measure? I followed the instructions carefully and as a result I assembled the furniture correctly. I followed the instructions carefully and as a result I assembled the furniture correctly. Was my grandfather a guard? Was my grandfather a guard? There are 8 cookies in the jar. There are 8 cookies in the jar. Were his nephews air traffic controllers? Were his nephews air traffic controllers? The baby cried all night. The baby cried all night. We went to the beach and had a picnic by the sea. We went to the beach and had a picnic by the sea. Our grandmother was a politician. Our grandmother was a politician. The cake was cut into pieces. The cake was cut into pieces. My friend told me, I'm thinking of getting a pet. My friend told me, I'm thinking of getting a pet. Could you please double-check the figures before presenting them? Could you please double-check the figures before presenting them? Will there be a deal at dawn? Will there be a deal at dawn? Could not add. Could not add. We had the plumber fix the broken sink. We had the plumber fix the broken sink. They want to buy a new house in the city. They want to buy a new house in the city. Will there be a midwife later at 3 a.m.? Will there be a midwife later at 3 a.m.? Who is in the chair? Who is in the chair? He has a great sense of humor. He has a great sense of humor. I'll be watching TV at 9. I'll be watching TV at 9. I had a great time during my vacation. I had a great time during my vacation. It should not contain 2 weeks. It should not contain 2 weeks. She's cooking dinner for the family. She's cooking dinner for the family. Is your mother-in-law a partner? Is your mother-in-law a partner? I have never seen Istanbul before. I have never seen Istanbul before. I was waiting for the bus when it came. I was waiting for the bus when it came. Let's examine a few solutions. Let's examine a few solutions. What is your plan? What is your plan? Although it is difficult, we must do our best. Although it is difficult, we must do our best. I don't know what you are saying. I don't know what you are saying. Over time, we will see the effects of our hard work. Over time, we will see the effects of our hard work. He plays the piano every day. He plays the piano every day. It was raining when I went out. It was raining when I went out. If I feel tired, I go to bed early. If I feel tired, I go to bed early. I wouldn't teach occasionally. I wouldn't teach occasionally. Can you help me with this project? Can you help me with this project? He didn't say anything. He didn't say anything. He spends his weekends hiking in the mountains. He spends his weekends hiking in the mountains. The company he founded is now a global company. The company he founded is now a global company. Will not choose. Will not choose. Birds sing in the trees. Birds sing in the trees. Was my family reporters? Was my family reporters? My son was a ballerina. My son was a ballerina. Doesn't it go up every week? Doesn't it go up every week? I need a break. I have to go somewhere. I need a break. I have to go somewhere. What are you working on Sunday? What are you working on Sunday? His parents were advertisers. His parents were advertisers. Sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that. We must not steer at dawn. We must not steer at dawn. They play tennis twice a week. They play tennis twice a week. Not a journeyman in the twilight? Not a journeyman in the twilight? They were watching a movie when the power went out. They were watching a movie when the power went out. He is repairing the car. He is repairing the car. I didn't have time for lunch. I didn't have time for lunch. They organized a charity event for a good cause. They organized a charity event for a good cause. Meals were inadequate for the number of guests in the party. Meals were inadequate for the number of guests in the party. Extra fit and fair man is my favorite feed. Extra fit and fair man is my favorite feed. Can do weekly pharmacy. Can do weekly pharmacy. Bartending 3 months later? Bartending 3 months later? I came home at 8 p.m. I came home at 8 p.m. I can speak for education. I can speak for education. We are playing football in the park. We are playing football in the park. My parents bought a new car. My parents bought a new car. Can you share your screen? Can you share your screen? He cooked dinner for his family. He cooked dinner for his family. For our team. For our team. Lately. Lately. When I'm hungry, I make myself a sandwich. When I'm hungry, I make myself a sandwich. Won't I apply? Won't I apply? I'm going to school for my brother's books. I'm going to school for my brother's books. He has enough talent to be successful in his career. He has enough talent to be successful in his career. We are learning how to salsa. We are learning how to salsa. He rarely goes to parties. He rarely goes to parties. Is there? Is there? What kind of change was this? What kind of change was this? Had he bought a lottery ticket, he would have won the jackpot. Had he bought a lottery ticket, he would have won the jackpot. We started, we hope to finish in 1 month. We started, we hope to finish in 1 month. How often does he play video games? How often does he play video games? Despite, had not been collected a century ago. Had not been collected a century ago. Was our uncle an inspector? Was our uncle an inspector? The decision was made by the committee. The decision was made by the committee. I'll be a lieutenant at dawn. I'll be a lieutenant at dawn. All necessary precautions should be taken to ensure safety. All necessary precautions should be taken to ensure safety. I don't feel normal. I don't feel normal. The newspaper article examines the issue of income inequality. The newspaper article examines the issue of income inequality. What kind of special? What kind of special? Do you have it? Do you have it? Previously protected. Previously protected. Forward. Forward. Your grandson was. Your grandson was. He was born in the morning. He was born in the morning. To follow. To follow. I will attend a workshop on leadership skills. I will attend a workshop on leadership skills. We can argue. We can argue. We want 4 tickets, please. We want 4 tickets, please. They should have cleaned their rooms before leaving. They should have cleaned their rooms before leaving. After that, they live in London. They live in London. I would love to see your photos again. I would love to see your photos again. He introduces. He introduces. Have we rented a quiet apartment? Have we rented a quiet apartment? Are these apples organic? Are these apples organic? It can be poison. It can be poison. Students are more careful in class. Students are more careful in class. There is a small garden behind the building. There is a small garden behind the building. He was able to lift the heavy box. He was able to lift the heavy box. Will you meet me at the cafe? Will you meet me at the cafe? How many languages can you speak? How many languages can you speak? You tricked me. You tricked me. Won't confirm after 3 evenings? Won't confirm after 3 evenings? I was a writer back then. I was a writer back then. I wish I had a personal chef so I wouldn't have to cook every day. I wish I had a personal chef so I wouldn't have to cook every day. Is your stepdaughter a bailiff? Is your stepdaughter a bailiff? Be reliable and responsible to yourself and others. Be reliable and responsible to yourself and others. Drink plenty of water if it's hot. Drink plenty of water if it's hot. They are traveling to Europe next week. They are traveling to Europe next week. Do you want anything else? Do you want anything else? We also need to consider the budget for this trip. We also need to consider the budget for this trip. The document has been saved to the computer. The document has been saved to the computer. How does this work? How does this work? We are waiting for your reply. We are waiting for your reply. I don't want to buy a car. I don't want to buy a car. Can you come with me? Can you come with me? I eat every day. I eat every day. Let me know if you need pen and paper. Let me know if you need pen and paper. He will learn to play the guitar. He will learn to play the guitar. You can't pass the exam if you don't study. You can't pass the exam if you don't study. Is your mother a messenger? Is your mother a messenger? How often do you eat out? How often do you eat out? If I won the lottery, I would quit my job. If I won the lottery, I would quit my job. Don't we trade annually? Don't we trade annually? You are not normally a doctor. You are not normally a doctor. I have to get up early for work. I have to get up early for work. After 2 years I am a night watchman. After 2 years I am a night watchman. 2 weeks ago can trades be? 2 weeks ago can trades be? With the help of John and his teams, we made the first launch this week. With the help of John and his teams, we made the first launch this week. They're throwing a party tonight. They're throwing a party tonight. Actually, I'm in prep class right now. Actually, I'm in prep class right now. We can run away right now. We can run away right now. The problem discussed in class was challenging. The problem discussed in class was challenging. He decided to stop eating fast food. He decided to stop eating fast food. I just want you to be careful. I just want you to be careful. Don't you drink? Don't you drink? He is known for his engaging articles on travel destinations. He is known for his engaging articles on travel destinations. The Eiffel Tower is the tallest structure in Paris. The Eiffel Tower is the tallest structure in Paris. Should not imply twilight. Should not imply twilight. What jobs should we take? What jobs should we take? Can I use my smartwatch for payments? Can I use my smartwatch for payments? It belongs to my sister. It belongs to my sister. It should not merge after 5 minutes. It should not merge after 5 minutes. My birthday is in June. My birthday is in June. If there is no chance of rain, I will go out. If there is no chance of rain, I will go out. I would ask from time to time. I would ask from time to time. Do you want to see monsters? Do you want to see monsters? Shouldn't go to war. Shouldn't go to war. Are our cousins carpenters? Are our cousins carpenters? Not all come. Not all come. He has no experience. He has no experience. I need some help with my homework. I need some help with my homework. They were playing tennis when it started to get dark. They were playing tennis when it started to get dark. Aren't you surrounded every day? Aren't you surrounded every day? Could I not go forward? Could I not go forward? He's not coming to the meeting, and neither am I. He's not coming to the meeting, and neither am I. Your half-sister was an astronomer. Your half-sister was an astronomer. If I find $1 million, I have to buy new shoes. If I find $1 million, I have to buy new shoes. I will bloom some flowers in the garden. I will bloom some flowers in the garden. His half-brothers are hunters. His half-brothers are hunters. I need to buy a new washing machine. I need to buy a new washing machine. He'll be cooking dinner when he arrives. He'll be cooking dinner when he arrives. Will we allow? Will we allow? Do you want to talk to me now? Do you want to talk to me now? The house they bought is near the beach. The house they bought is near the beach. Did he always dream? Did he always dream? She had never been to Europe until she went on her honeymoon. She had never been to Europe until she went on her honeymoon. The army is on the move. The army is on the move. After 3 nights, we wouldn't be defending. After 3 nights, we wouldn't be defending. I prefer dogs to cats. I prefer dogs to cats. There are 8 cookies in the jar. There are 8 cookies in the jar. Don't we need to provide? Don't we need to provide? Can't I specify every year? Can't I specify every year? I want you to go home. I want you to go home. Shouldn't they be night watchmen after 3 midnight? Shouldn't they be night watchmen after 3 midnight? As we talked, he goes to the library once a week. He goes to the library once a week. What can I give you? What can I give you? What's the problem? What's the problem? We weren't analysts for 10 years. We weren't analysts for 10 years. They must be successful. They must be successful. It was exercise. It was exercise. Did we say normal? Did we say normal? I'm going to the dentist at 3 o'clock today. I'm going to the dentist at 3 o'clock today. The big cake is sweeter than the small one. The big cake is sweeter than the small one. Rarely do I have to prove it. Rarely do I have to prove it. You like pizza, right? You like pizza, right? The cooks will cook for the guests at the restaurant. The cooks will cook for the guests at the restaurant. I had my car washed at the car wash. I had my car washed at the car wash. I need to charge my phone before going to bed. I need to charge my phone before going to bed. How wonderful! How wonderful! All necessary tools are provided for this task. All necessary tools are provided for this task. How was your exam? How was your exam? You wouldn't dance occasionally. You wouldn't dance occasionally. They often go on vacation together. They often go on vacation together. I always check my email in the morning. I always check my email in the morning. The house was rented to a family. The house was rented to a family. Are his siblings rulers? Are his siblings rulers? But if we want to achieve our goals, we must work hard. But if we want to achieve our goals, we must work hard. He is totally fine. He is totally fine. Will you not undertake? Will you not undertake? Should not be limited. Should not be limited. The store will sell. The store will sell. Could not give weekly. Could not give weekly. To earn money. To earn money. Today. Today. At dawn, I was not an insurer. At dawn, I was not an insurer. Untimely. Untimely. Is she cooking at night? Is she cooking at night? Subtract. Subtract. They may not always paint. They may not always paint. I don't want to drink too much and get sick. I don't want to drink too much and get sick. Can you believe this? Can you believe this? What's this? What's this? The easy-to-use interface has made the software popular among beginners. The easy-to-use interface has made the software popular among beginners. You should have called to cancel the reservation. You should have called to cancel the reservation. Shouldn't be dealing with it. Shouldn't be dealing with it. He is taking a shower. He is taking a shower. Can I use my mobile payment application here? Can I use my mobile payment application here? Did they appear every year? Did they appear every year? You take advantage. You take advantage. I can't believe you said such a thing. I can't believe you said such a thing. He's attending a conference next week. He's attending a conference next week. We would like to invite you to our wedding. We would like to invite you to our wedding. They're throwing a party next weekend. They're throwing a party next weekend. If they had gone earlier, they wouldn't have missed the train. If they had gone earlier, they wouldn't have missed the train. His half-brother was the assistant cook. His half-brother was the assistant cook. Borrow. Borrow. The train has just arrived. The train has just arrived. If they had listened to the weather, they wouldn't have forgotten their umbrellas. If they had listened to the weather, they wouldn't have forgotten their umbrellas. Can it sell normally? Can it sell normally? What are you thinking? What are you thinking? We'll run into more obstacles down the road. We'll run into more obstacles down the road. Can we add? Can we add? What time do you usually get up? What time do you usually get up? His friends are psychologists. His friends are psychologists. The small bag is mine, the big one is my sister's. The small bag is mine, the big one is my sister's. They may not understand the instructions. They may not understand the instructions. I think I'll be at your house in about 20 minutes. I think I'll be at your house in about 20 minutes. The test was easy, passed with great success. The test was easy, passed with great success. The house they bought is near the beach. The house they bought is near the beach. I will be taking a day off from work in July. I will be taking a day off from work in July. Take into account. Take into account. The flowers will bloom in the spring. The flowers will bloom in the spring. What was that? What was that? She wants to learn to cook. She wants to learn to cook. I'm going to the amusement park. I'm going to the amusement park. I need to buy food for dinner tonight. I need to buy food for dinner tonight. I can't destroy. I can't destroy. Wouldn't it break at 3 p.m.? Wouldn't it break at 3 p.m.? You're going to visit your grandparents next weekend. You're going to visit your grandparents next weekend. It's like you'll have learned in 2 months. It's like you'll have learned in 2 months. I know that. I know that. John Good Young. John Good Young. Was your brother a baker? Was your brother a baker? Have you seen this movie before? Have you seen this movie before? Normally not clear. Normally not clear. They are dancing at the party. They are dancing at the party. You shouldn't get it soon. You shouldn't get it soon. They took the short route, so they got to their destination early. They took the short route, so they got to their destination early. You must be responsible for your actions. You must be responsible for your actions. The cat is very fast. The cat is very fast. We traveled to a different country. We traveled to a different country. They had already visited that museum, so they went to a different museum. They had already visited that museum, so they went to a different museum. How much was it? How much was it? Where can I find the payment line? Where can I find the payment line? Do I remove it? Do I remove it? Finding a job is difficult. Finding a job is difficult. It suddenly appeared. It suddenly appeared. You didn't ride. You didn't ride. Don't we need to wash dishes often? Don't we need to wash dishes often? I can't eat seafood. I'm allergic. I can't eat seafood. I'm allergic. Weren't we financiers before at 5 a.m.? Weren't we financiers before at 5 a.m.? Didn't I talk? Didn't I talk? Will they invite us to their wedding? Will they invite us to their wedding? What is the price? What is the price? Were your cousins decorators? Were your cousins decorators? Do you know the man who won the lottery? Do you know the man who won the lottery? Beneficiary. Beneficiary. He will start a new job next week. He will start a new job next week. I'm going to bed now. I'm going to bed now. Why don't we have dinner at that new restaurant? Why don't we have dinner at that new restaurant? We don't do weekly comparisons. We don't do weekly comparisons. Can I predict 3 weeks ahead? Can I predict 3 weeks ahead? He drives to work every morning. He drives to work every morning. We'll schedule normally. We'll schedule normally. Not an acrobat after one night. Not an acrobat after one night. He wishes he hadn't lost his passport. He wishes he hadn't lost his passport. I'm dyeing socks. I'm dyeing socks. Can you give some information about the Wi-Fi coverage of the campus? Can you give some information about the Wi-Fi coverage of the campus? He was fixing the leaky faucet in the bathroom. He was fixing the leaky faucet in the bathroom. He moved. He moved. Am I an entrepreneur the next day? Am I an entrepreneur the next day? How much does this cost? How much does this cost? Teacher assistant. Teacher assistant. Have you seen the newly released movie? Asked. Have you seen the newly released movie? Asked. I'm going to play ball in the garden with my friends after class tomorrow. I'm going to play ball in the garden with my friends after class tomorrow. The window was broken by the strong wind. The window was broken by the strong wind. Despite the difficulties, we kept moving forward. Despite the difficulties, we kept moving forward. I don't notice anything special about the subject at hand. I don't notice anything special about the subject at hand. Before. I saved money to buy a new camera. I saved money to buy a new camera. How much does a bottle of water cost? How much does a bottle of water cost? Shouldn't it have taken over last year? Shouldn't it have taken over last year? Well known. We need a lawyer, someone to help him. We need a lawyer, someone to help him. There are 11 players on the football team. There are 11 players on the football team. Have. I guess I didn't have much time because I was busy. I guess I didn't have much time because I was busy. If I were a bird, I would fly around the world. If I were a bird, I would fly around the world. I think I broke my arm. I think I broke my arm. The issue discussed at the meeting required careful handling. The issue discussed at the meeting required careful handling. I listened to music on the way to work. I listened to music on the way to work. Cancel. She likes shopping. She likes shopping. We need to prioritize these tasks according to their urgency. We need to prioritize these tasks according to their urgency. I need some explanation about this policy. I need some explanation about this policy. I can't take a step. I can't take a step. Our nephew is an ironer. Our nephew is an ironer. I have a couple of dyes. I have a couple of dyes. We were playing board games with our friends. We were playing board games with our friends. Did we dress up last year? Did we dress up last year? If you mix red and blue you get purple. If you mix red and blue you get purple. Will you buy it? Will you buy it? Can we race after 2 nights? Can we race after 2 nights? I have always been a photographer. I have always been a photographer. I'm not sure if I'm ready to go yet. I'm not sure if I'm ready to go yet. The teacher made the students practice speaking English. The teacher made the students practice speaking English. Scholarship. Can it be supported every month? Can it be supported every month? He's listening. He is an adult and can make his own decisions. He is an adult and can make his own decisions. I took dance lessons to improve coordination. I took dance lessons to improve coordination. We didn't know which user was coming. We didn't know which user was coming. He was teaching his students a new lesson in the classroom. He was teaching his students a new lesson in the classroom. Can handle 2 weeks. Can handle 2 weeks. His legendary skills on the basketball court were unmatched. His legendary skills on the basketball court were unmatched. 7:30. 7:30. May rise. May rise. How much money does he have? How much money does he have? What a strong team. What a strong team. Shouldn't I be sure after 3 midnight? Shouldn't I be sure after 3 midnight? Do you have a loyalty card? Do you have a loyalty card? He didn't build a wall 1 day ago. He didn't build a wall 1 day ago. Do we need some people? Do we need some people? Is her grandmother a teacher? Is her grandmother a teacher? This white phone is bigger than the blue phone. This white phone is bigger than the blue phone. His brother is his best friend. His brother is his best friend. If I had known it would rain, I would have brought an umbrella. If I had known it would rain, I would have brought an umbrella. We admire his determination. We admire his determination. They should have called a plumber to fix the leak. They should have called a plumber to fix the leak. We watched a football match on TV. We watched a football match on TV. Consistency in following a healthy diet leads to better health. Consistency in following a healthy diet leads to better health. Why don't we watch a football match on TV? Why don't we watch a football match on TV? If they work hard, they can win the championship. If they work hard, they can win the championship. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? The movie starts at dawn. The movie starts at dawn. 2 weeks maybe monk. 2 weeks maybe monk. He likes to go jogging in the morning. He likes to go jogging in the morning. As we talked. They are students. They are students. Late in the morning traffic controller 1 should err. Late in the morning traffic controller 1 should err. Are you going to school? Are you going to school? The past tense form also hurts. The past tense form also hurts. He wasn't shouting. He wasn't shouting. He's not wearing glasses. He's not wearing glasses. Was not replaced at dawn. Was not replaced at dawn. Turn back. Turn back. Can we go shopping this weekend? Can we go shopping this weekend? I wish I had more time to spend with my friends. I wish I had more time to spend with my friends. Compulsory. Compulsory. Then can't you be a fireman? Then can't you be a fireman? The dog is chasing its tail. The dog is chasing its tail. Soon not a pathologist? Soon not a pathologist? Here is your milk. Here is your milk. Do you have a reusable shopping bag? Do you have a reusable shopping bag? Shouldn't you feed? Shouldn't you feed? Art. Art. Can you pass me the vacuum cleaner? Can you pass me the vacuum cleaner? Was it our stepdad fundraiser? Was it our stepdad fundraiser? Weren't we busy at dawn? Weren't we busy at dawn? My neighbor is a barber. My neighbor is a barber. She had cooked dinner before her guests arrived. She had cooked dinner before her guests arrived. Hadn't he grown? Hadn't he grown? They watched a movie last night. They watched a movie last night. Forget about it. Forget about it. They visited the Eiffel Tower in Paris. They visited the Eiffel Tower in Paris. I might try a new restaurant for dinner. I might try a new restaurant for dinner. We have. Shouldn't affect soon. Shouldn't affect soon. You have to be proud of yourself for success. You have to be proud of yourself for success. Were they used every day? Were they used every day? I loved watching cartoons as a kid. I loved watching cartoons as a kid. Had met. I wish I didn't have to work on the weekends. I wish I didn't have to work on the weekends. I'll be studying when you come. I'll be studying when you come. Isn't he a bartender at sunset? Isn't he a bartender at sunset? Brother-in-law jury. Brother-in-law jury. Was my wife a midwife? Was my wife a midwife? The clock works all day. The clock works all day. Do you age at sunset? Do you age at sunset? His family lives in London. His family lives in London. We were looking for a solution to the problem. We were looking for a solution to the problem. Let me know if you want me to help you move. Let me know if you want me to help you move. They shouldn't be uploading soon. They shouldn't be uploading soon. Should it never be removed? Should it never be removed? Is his wife a grocer? Is his wife a grocer? I say, did he know 3 centuries ago? Did he know 3 centuries ago? He listens to music in his spare time. He listens to music in his spare time. By the end of this year, I will have learned to play the piano. By the end of this year, I will have learned to play the piano. Not immersed. Not immersed. Meals were inadequate for the number of guests in the party. Meals were inadequate for the number of guests in the party. Did not become a fabricator every day. Did not become a fabricator every day. They will play tennis in the park. They will play tennis in the park. They were building a sand castle on the beach. They were building a sand castle on the beach. What did you buy? What did you buy? The message was accidentally deleted. The message was accidentally deleted. I can choose. I can choose. I'm going to the south side of town. I'm going to the south side of town. I must not spawn in the twilight. I must not spawn in the twilight. You will love this place. You will love this place. I am manager. I am manager. He bought a new car last week. He bought a new car last week. Raw pork. Raw pork. My understanding. My understanding. They can invest in real estate. They can invest in real estate. Wasn't I a rower 3 days ago? Wasn't I a rower 3 days ago? When it snows, I like to make a snowman. When it snows, I like to make a snowman. I was exhausted after that long flight. I was exhausted after that long flight. I am planning to visit my family during the holidays. I am planning to visit my family during the holidays. Can you give me some examples? Can you give me some examples? Takes 2 weeks. Takes 2 weeks. Is his family a minor? Is his family a minor? How do you say this thing? How do you say this thing? Will he be angling bi-weekly? Will he be angling bi-weekly? They had just arrived at the hotel. They had just arrived at the hotel. When they wake up, we will have prepared breakfast. When they wake up, we will have prepared breakfast. I must not forget to bring my umbrella. It may rain. I must not forget to bring my umbrella. It may rain. He is now a football player. He is now a football player. Can you lend me your pen, please? Can you lend me your pen, please? Snowflakes are falling slowly from the sky. Snowflakes are falling slowly from the sky. Quickly. Quickly. Does it sit every year? Does it sit every year? You have to wear a tie to the official event. You have to wear a tie to the official event. His half-brother was an actuary. His half-brother was an actuary. Every year they kick a kick. Every year they kick a kick. I will be looking at him. I will be looking at him. The party preparation took all day. The party preparation took all day. Do you have disposable plates and cups? Do you have disposable plates and cups? I'll meet you at the library. I'll meet you at the library. I will never forget the loving care he showed me during my illness. I will never forget the loving care he showed me during my illness. I had rehearsed the song before I went to the show. I had rehearsed the song before I went to the show. I mentioned it 4 weeks ago. I mentioned it 4 weeks ago. One, I will have sex. One, I will have sex. The photo I took on vacation is on my phone. The photo I took on vacation is on my phone. Doesn't it fit every month? Doesn't it fit every month? After a week, he can't direct. After a week, he can't direct. Is your son a laundress? Is your son a laundress? Sorry to interrupt your vacation. Sorry to interrupt your vacation. Where are you going? Where are you going? I'll cause this in 3 seconds. I'll cause this in 3 seconds. We'll add it right away. We'll add it right away. He would go to bed after 3 years. He would go to bed after 3 years. The reason for his sudden departure was unknown. The reason for his sudden departure was unknown. He goes to the beach to relax. He goes to the beach to relax. He must learn to swim. He must learn to swim. Rarely chosen? Rarely chosen? Do you like sweet or salty more? Do you like sweet or salty more? The children played together in the park. The children played together in the park. He is more talented than his classmates. He is more talented than his classmates. I never got a chance to apologize. I never got a chance to apologize. Will they give orders a day later? Will they give orders a day later? Were their grandchildren bus drivers? Were their grandchildren bus drivers? We do not reflect. We do not reflect. I will see you. I will see you. My teacher told me, you have to be careful in class. My teacher told me, you have to be careful in class. It could be a doctor's appointment. It could be a doctor's appointment. I thought so, too. I thought so, too. I should have answered last year. I should have answered last year. There are no students in the classroom. There are no students in the classroom. Were we winning 3 in the morning before? Were we winning 3 in the morning before? He was working on a puzzle. He was working on a puzzle. My son was a ballerina. My son was a ballerina. Earthquakes. Earthquakes. How much money does he have? How much money does he have? I'm born at 4 p.m. I'm born at 4 p.m. Affected. Affected. We go for a walk on Sunday. We go for a walk on Sunday. He couldn't find his car keys. He couldn't find his car keys. Further. Further. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Will you be able to get to the party in time? Will you be able to get to the party in time? I can speak for education. I can speak for education. By the way, while I was watching TV, my sister was studying for her exams. By the way, while I was watching TV, my sister was studying for her exams. It only matters if it matters to you. It only matters if it matters to you. But I'm not really hungry. But I'm not really hungry. If he's late, we'll start without him. If he's late, we'll start without him. They should not play after an hour. They should not play after an hour. Can you get me a glass of water? Can you get me a glass of water? They visited a museum over the weekend. They visited a museum over the weekend. Let me know if you want to reschedule. Let me know if you want to reschedule. I saw a cow in the city. I saw a cow in the city. I know. I know. Not close. Not close. My brothers are illusionists. My brothers are illusionists. Is their grandmother the weatherman? Is their grandmother the weatherman? Why didn't you finish your lessons? Why didn't you finish your lessons? Shouldn't they catch it every day? Shouldn't they catch it every day? May develop each month. May develop each month. They can run fast. They can run fast. What kind of support can you give to our project? What kind of support can you give to our project? After the performance, they paid a moment of silence. After the performance, they paid a moment of silence. The students were working on a group project. The students were working on a group project. He's making his dreams come true. He's making his dreams come true. They just finished their exams. They just finished their exams. The song was sung by a talented singer. The song was sung by a talented singer. Children are playing outside. Children are playing outside. They have been traveling around Europe for a month. They have been traveling around Europe for a month. After 3 nights, we wouldn't be defending. After 3 nights, we wouldn't be defending. They don't get monthly. They don't get monthly. He's taking pictures. He's taking pictures. Rewrite and expand the text below for John. Rewrite and expand the text below for John. Hard-working. Hard-working. We visit our grandparents every Sunday. We visit our grandparents every Sunday. Do you mind if I use your toilet? Do you mind if I use your toilet? They were studying for the biology exam together. They were studying for the biology exam together. Didn't they add? Didn't they add? Will they drop next year? Will they drop next year? Wouldn't it be a weekly challenge? Wouldn't it be a weekly challenge? Can't I blow? Can't I blow? My grandfather was an innkeeper. My grandfather was an innkeeper. His legacy lives on through his children. His legacy lives on through his children. Is he watching normally? Is he watching normally? Electricity powers our homes. Electricity powers our homes. Since when do you like basketball? Since when do you like basketball? They had their garden done by a professional gardener. They had their garden done by a professional gardener. Do you want me to check your answers? Do you want me to check your answers? There is no sugar in coffee. There is no sugar in coffee. Is there a sushi counter in the store? Is there a sushi counter in the store? The immersion blender can be used directly in a soup pot. The immersion blender can be used directly in a soup pot. And no one else. And no one else. See you soon. See you soon. If I had $1 million, I would travel the world. If I had $1 million, I would travel the world. Our half-brother was a songwriter. Our half-brother was a songwriter. Songwriter every month. Songwriter every month. I shouldn't be headhunting after 4 nights. I shouldn't be headhunting after 4 nights. The hungry children ate the cake. The hungry children ate the cake. Can I renew after 3 weeks? Can I renew after 3 weeks? May I be interested? May I be interested? I would love to see your photos again. I would love to see your photos again. Despite the difficulties, they were determined to succeed. Despite the difficulties, they were determined to succeed. Great query. Great query. They must be enjoying their vacation at the beach. They must be enjoying their vacation at the beach. His grandson was a draper. His grandson was a draper. They lived in that house for a long time. They lived in that house for a long time. We cannot move until the transported truck arrives. We cannot move until the transported truck arrives. Your half-brother was a coach. Your half-brother was a coach. Doesn't he manage? Doesn't he manage? Sometimes they have to agree. Sometimes they have to agree. Download. Download. Have you experienced this problem before? Have you experienced this problem before? You should not take. You should not take. I know the boy next to your brother. I know the boy next to your brother. I have 1 child. I have 1 child. Raw port. Raw port. I have to go home. I have to go home. Why did you want to travel? Why did you want to travel? Is your nephew a barber? Is your nephew a barber? I need a break and rest for a while. I need a break and rest for a while. We immediately became pipe layers. We immediately became pipe layers. I've been studying all night for my exam. I've been studying all night for my exam. Take out a piece of paper. Take out a piece of paper. His grandfather is a businessman. His grandfather is a businessman. I don't notice anything in particular about these. I don't notice anything in particular about these. Are his brothers mechanics? Are his brothers mechanics? I should remember later. I should remember later. Some work has been done. Some work has been done. We can build this house. We can build this house. I lost my wallet on the bus, my friend said. I lost my wallet on the bus, my friend said. You must reply after 3 nights. You must reply after 3 nights. For if there is no chance of a storm, I will go out. For if there is no chance of a storm, I will go out. I was leaving. I was leaving. Won't it hurt? Won't it hurt? Competitive. Competitive. Will he write? Will he write? They hope to win the championship this year. They hope to win the championship this year. The room was cleaned by the maid. The room was cleaned by the maid. I can't believe they're going to televise the trial. I can't believe they're going to televise the trial. I am manager. I am manager. Do you have it? Do you have it? He's going to the doctor. He's going to the doctor. Should I then become a midnight fabricator? Should I then become a midnight fabricator? My friend is taller than all of us. My friend is taller than all of us. Noon could not calculate. Noon could not calculate. Can you help me carry these bags, please? Can you help me carry these bags, please? They age in the twilight. They age in the twilight. We should be grateful for what we have. We should be grateful for what we have. My eldest son's name is John. My eldest son's name is John. To hit. To hit. After 1 week, he may wonder. After 1 week, he may wonder. Was your stepson a pharmacist? Was your stepson a pharmacist? We may not be able to save last year. We may not be able to save last year. Who has a dream? Who has a dream? When we got to the theater, the movie had already started. When we got to the theater, the movie had already started. I won't want to go home. I won't want to go home. After a century, shall we not race car drivers? After a century, shall we not race car drivers? It wasn't Potter 3 the previous morning. It wasn't Potter 3 the previous morning. I may have to be late at work tonight. I may have to be late at work tonight. How many words do you need to speak a language? How many words do you need to speak a language? His grandfather is a columnist. His grandfather is a columnist. They signed up for a coding boot camp to learn programming. They signed up for a coding boot camp to learn programming. We have lived in this city for 5 years. We have lived in this city for 5 years. I need to see a doctor. I need to see a doctor. Discussions on the new education policy continued for several hours. Discussions on the new education policy continued for several hours. He goes to bed at 10 p.m. He goes to bed at 10 p.m. His wife is a detective. His wife is a detective. Can't we close every month? Can't we close every month? Try. Try. You have to study regularly to improve your grades. You have to study regularly to improve your grades. The plan is to launch the new product next month. The plan is to launch the new product next month. Do you have a single room available for tonight? Do you have a single room available for tonight? He wants to be a successful entrepreneur. He wants to be a successful entrepreneur. Shouldn't you be dealing with 2 midnight? Shouldn't you be dealing with 2 midnight? My car is faster than yours. My car is faster than yours. The reason for his absence was unclear. The reason for his absence was unclear. Then we go to the mall. Then we go to the mall. Are you drinking after 5 hours? Are you drinking after 5 hours? Does it diversify? Does it diversify? Can I taste a sample of this salsa sauce? Can I taste a sample of this salsa sauce? What did you study at university? They asked. What did you study at university? They asked. He visited his sister in another country. He visited his sister in another country. Will we not kill? Will we not kill? Is aware of this. Is aware of this. Winter is the coldest season of the year. Winter is the coldest season of the year. She is wearing a red dress. She is wearing a red dress. It could be poison. It could be poison. Mostly blocked. Mostly blocked.